Okay, big fight this Friday on Netflix. Long awaited. What was originally Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul morphed into Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. And this Friday is the day these two gentlemen will fight.
Yeah, listen, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. Joe went on a mini rant. He didn't name names, but I know exactly who that smoke was for. And let's be real, we all do. I'm absolutely going to lose my mind on Patreon. Shameless plug, selfless plug, I don't care. Go subscribe, because the price of the brick just went up, and he's been warning us for a minute that it was coming. I believed him, but my tunnel vision has been locked on Patreon. Netflix? I genuinely thought there was no way Joe was touching anything Netflix related. And technically, it still might not even be Netflix directly. It could be Jake Paul related. We'll get there. But make no mistake, the price of the brick has officially increased. Not My Most Humblest Day is the perfect title for this episode. If you didn't catch it, and you wouldn't unless you saw the visuals on Patreon, Joe landed a Netflix ad deal. Yeah, he secured the bag. He's promoting the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. And it's not a quick mention either. It's a full segment, like 5 to 7 minutes long. I'll be honest, I wasn't even listening to what they were saying about the fight. I truly didn't care. My eyes were glued to the Netflix graphic. Then I glanced at the bottom corner and saw the fight name and the premiere date. And as the segment kept going, more graphics started popping up. I was like, oh my God. No, oh my God. Let me give y'all a condensed version of my rant. Joe said it himself. I'm the only one who owns my IP. I'm not partnered with anyone. I get endorsements, but every executive decision runs through me. It lands on my desk, I run it by Ian, and then we decide. This week it's Netflix. Who's to say next week it isn't Best Buy or a lineup of other major sponsors backing him? Because now it's looking like, oh, this man's main IP feels like television. He's making a pivot that's bigger than podcasting, and I'm still hyper-focused on Patreon. And I'll say this honestly, I'm not wrong about the Patreon angle. I'm watching the push happen in real time. It's everywhere. And here's another update I just caught from Flip's page. I saw it in his chat. He said none of his Vimeo videos are working on Patreon. So what does that tell you? Anyway, Joe has equity in Patreon. So Patreon is gonna do what Patreon does, and I'm gonna push it heavy, because when it pops, I get my slice. But just because my content lives on Patreon doesn't mean Patreon owns my IP. That's another layer of the strategy. I can put whoever I want on my platform, and there's no telling how big this Netflix bag actually was. And because Joe went outside, moved impulsively, and crossed paths with Logan Paul, Logan introduced him to Jake Paul. And Jake Paul was like, oh, you're really doing numbers. I can work with that. But we're not talking about enough is the level of influence Jake Paul has right now. Everybody's focused on his boxing. People are saying fights are fixed, people chasing bags. But how did a YouTuber get to the point where he's earning $50 million per fight? How did exhibition matches turn into money printing machines? That part matters. And here's something else I caught. Right next to the Netflix logo was another logo, MVP. I said, hold on, what is that? Who is that? Don't tell me that's tied to Jake Paul too. So of course, I looked it up in real time. MVP stands for Most Valuable Promotions, the boxing company Jake Paul co-founded back in 2021. Oh. So while everybody is locked in on the Netflix ad, which, don't get me wrong, is massive, I'm way more focused on that MVP logo sitting right next to it. And now that I know it ties back to Jake Paul, everything clicks. These influencer kids, yeah, these young dudes too, I've got to give them their credit. They're teaching us how to maneuver with conglomerates. They're showing us how to move alongside the big dogs. And because Joe owns his own IP, that changes everything. I decide who puts their logo on my platform. At the end of the day, people sign ad deals or sign with agencies so those ads can promote brands and build visibility. But if I'm already one of the heavy hitters pulling views every single week, then who are you? Yeah, you can put your logo here, you can put your brand here, but it's gonna cost you. Joe going prime time with commercials isn't about expanding the audience. It's about signaling to advertisers that this is real business. This ain't small time anymore. And I keep looking at it from an audience growth perspective. Joe is past that stage. We need to stop framing this as a Netflix deal. Start looking at it as a Jake Paul deal. Start paying attention to the moves Jake Paul is making. There's a reason Joe speaks so highly about that camp. Now don't get it twisted. If we're giving credit for the Netflix play, I'll do that too. Because if you've been paying attention, Charlemagne, iHeartMedia, and a bunch of major media players are moving toward the Netflix model. And if you don't own your IP, that's not flying over here. I can feel this bubbling in my chest right now. Create something. This deal should light a fire under all of us. It should motivate us to build our own IP. Because how is this not possible for everyone? Especially if you're as invested in your vision as Joe has been in his. But it starts now. Y'all tell me what you think about this in the comments. This is a huge deal. I'm not even gonna play with it. No sugarcoating. This is a big deal. So drop your thoughts below on the promotion, the Netflix ads, all of it. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, you already know how we rock. You already know what time it is. Ridiculous.